Yo, 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 what is good, YouTube? It is your boy, Make America Lit, back with another NBA video. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing, that's right, Game 2. Game 2, Denver Nuggets, Los Angeles Lakers tonight. Very excited for this. I think Lakers Nuggets have potential to be probably a top 5 series in the playoffs this year. I mean, so far we haven't had that many good series. I would say that I'm still kind of reeling over that first round Warriors Kings. I think that's still like probably a top 3 series so far this year in the playoffs. I think I have Warriors Kings second only to Philly Boston. Philly Boston was really good one in the second round. Then I have Warriors Kings as number 2, and then number 3 I have Warriors Lakers. So Warriors are definitely in 2 out of the 3 best series to me. Every other series was kind of forgettable. I didn't even watch Cavs Knicks. That was just snore fest. Didn't watch Philly versus Brooklyn. We already knew how that was gonna go. Didn't even catch Milwaukee. Once I seen that Giannis had got hurt, I didn't really even watch Milwaukee, Miami, and then really I was so primarily focused on Sacramento and Golden State. I really didn't care about any other series, but yeah, man. This is shaping up to possibly be like one of the best series in the playoffs this year. But I want to talk about this one thing that's bothering me that I've seen a lot after they lost, after the Lakers, of course, lost. Now, we all know Nuggets was dominating up like 20, 21, 22 points, maybe even 23 points if I'm not mistaken. Got to fact check that. But they were up big. They were up 20 plus, I know that. And of course, the Lakers came back in it here and there. They still won. The last 4 minutes of that game, if you did watch the game, was very ugly. A lot of terrible reffing, a lot of terrible foul calls. And I'm not biased in any way. Like, it was bad calls on both sides. Like, they were calling tick-tacky bullshit foul calls on the Lakers. They was calling tick-tacky bullshit foul calls on the Nuggets. Like, it just seemed like the refs were trying to extend that game from 4 minutes. Like, the last 4 minutes took like maybe 20 minutes to play because of all the constant fouls and free throws. It was just very nasty. I didn't like the way that game ended at all. They didn't let them play. They let them play for like the first 3, almost 4 quarters, and then the last 4 minutes they just decided, you know what, we're just going to call a bunch of ridiculous, stupid-ass foul calls, just to try to extend this game or whatever. I don't know what the motive was for that, but it was just weird how, like, the last 4 to 5 minutes of the game just randomly, just out of the blue, was just tick-tacky foul calls after tick-tacky foul calls. Keep in mind that the foul calls were already kind of questionable because, the Nuggets were already in in a penalty, excuse me, I was about to say foul trouble. Nuggets were already in the penalty by I think the 8th or 9th minute, and then the Lakers followed suit. They were in the penalty by the 7th or 6th minute, somewhere around there. So, yeah, man, a lot of weird bullshit foul calls and stuff. But the one thing that stuck out to me the most, right, was social media after this game. Denver Nuggets win. It's a good win. Everybody played well. They shot lights out. They looked like the Warriors in Game 2 versus the Lakers. They just shot the ball tremendously. And all I seen was the most ridiculous, highest quality bait, the most, I'm talking about pure military grade copium, just the craziest amount of cope I've ever seen. I was singing Copacabana, just ridiculous amounts of cope, bro. From Lakers fans, bro. Just talking heads, so-called experts, and ESPN analysts, and all of these people saying that, oh man, the Nuggets won, but they really lost. They were really on Twitter, full-fledged force, trying to convince everybody that even though the Denver Nuggets won, they actually lost the game. And somehow the Lakers won, because the Lakers figured out Jokic. They solved Jokic in 3 quarters. They figured out if they put Rui Hachimura on him that, he's going to make life difficult. Yo, that nigga is baked chicken, okay? Like, and I'm not trying to shit on Rui Hachimura. He's a good player, but that nigga is not Jokic, okay? He is not Anthony Davis. That man is baked chicken. What they did was they put him on there on Jokic so that way AD can kind of roam and just help instead of AD being out of the picture and just having to worry about guarding Jokic, even though he really wasn't doing that great of a job. He had some good stops. He had some blocks. He swatted his shit a couple times too. You know what I'm saying? Like, AD's a great player. He's a good defensive player. He's going to get his regardless. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to just play against AD for 48 minutes and just think that you're just going to bake him the whole time. Like, nah, AD's going to get his looks. He's going to get his buckets. He started out very awful that first quarter, but he turned it up that second quarter. I think he finished at, like, I want to say at one point, I can't remember. I want to say he was at like 7 for 14 or something like that going into that second half. Like, and I'm like, whoa. I remember that first quarter, he was looking bad. Boy was looking like 2 for 6 or something, and he somehow turned that into, 50% shooting real fast and really turned it up. That really impressed me. Like, to see AD like not let a bad start affect him and just keep at it and grinding it out and stuff. But yo, these Lakers fans, these experts and all of that stuff, just the amount of cope that I was seeing online that somehow the Nuggets lost. Like, yeah, they won the first game, but really they just lost because, like, the Lakers have just magically figured these guys out and all this other stuff. And this is the thing that I was trying to tell people, because I have friends who are Lakers fans and we talk about basketball, and I tried to explain to them the difference between the Nuggets and the teams that the Lakers have played is that Jokic is that difference. Like, you look at, and let me explain what I mean, right? You look at Memphis, right? Now, I'm not trying to shit on JJJ. I'm not trying to shit on Jaren Jackson Jr. by any means, right? Because he is a great player. He's a really good player, a really great player, right? Just won Defensive Player of the Year and all of that, right? Cool. They didn't have Brandon Clark, right? Brandon Clark was out with like an Achilles, I think, injury or something like that. He tore his Achilles like right before the playoffs started, like 3 months ago. Then you look at Steven Adams. I don't even know what the fuck happened to Steven Adams, but I just knew he was injured and he was going to miss the playoffs. So they didn't have no Brandon Clark, and then they didn't have no Steven Adams, who Brandon Clark is like, very athletic, very mobile, can keep up with like an AD, versus Steven Adams, who can kind of bang, strong, solid, big, who can bang, get blocks, set hard screens and things of that nature. He's going to help that Memphis team too. Now, Memphis lost, they lost. I'm not here making excuses for Memphis or why they lost. Like, they lost, they fucking lost, period, full stop. But AD, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because AD has been chilling defensively. Now, what I mean by chilling defensively, I don't mean that AD hasn't been playing defense. AD has been playing the probably best defense in the playoffs right now, right? AD has been going crazy, right? And what I mean by AD has been chilling is that you look at Jaren Jackson Jr., 18 points per game, 50% from the field or whatever. Really good player, but he's not Jokic, No Brandon Clark, no Steven Adams. You basically playing against Jaren Jackson Jr. and Xavier Tillman, which, again, I'm not trying to shit on nobody, but those players aren't Jokic. You know what I'm saying? And even though Jaren Jackson Jr., held his own against AD, he had good games. He had, like, game 4 where he held AD to, like, 4 for 13 shooting, like 12 points or 11 points. He had game 2 where he held AD to like 4-15 or 4-14 shooting, like 13, 12 points. He had those good outings where it wasn't just like AD was just shitting on him the entire series. Like, he had his games where he made life difficult for AD, But he's no Jokic, You look at Golden State. Once again, AD was chilling. AD had to step up a little bit more defensively because he had to help with, guarding Steph and being on the perimeter and contesting shots, Steph and Clay and those guys. But, AD still was chilling defensively, He had Draymond, Kevon Looney, and JaMychal Green. Now, I won't even waste my time. Again, no disrespect. I'm not going to waste my time talking about JaMychal Green or Kevon Looney, even though Looney went crazy in the postseason, on the boards. But we're talking about offensively, and we're talking about AD defensively. He was chilling. JaMychal Green, yeah, you was pulling him out of the paint, forcing him to come to you to, guard that corner three, which he was knocking down. Looked really good game two. But, you're not baking anybody. You're not making life hell for anybody, Then you look at Draymond, and again, not a knock on Draymond. We know Draymond's resume, 4-time champion, multiple-time All-NBA selections, Defensive Player of the Year, steals leader, All-NBA second, All-NBA third team selections. Like, he's no slouch, but we're talking about Jokic, a 25-point per game scorer. I won't even look up whatever Draymond's stats is. I doubt he's even averaging 10 points per game. But that right there is the difference between Jokic and Draymond, Kevon Looney, JaMychal Green, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Xavier Tillman. And even if they did play Brandon Clark and Steven Adams, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jokic is a different type of beast. And AD is a beast himself, and AD is even more of a beast because he's a two-way beast. He can not only score, but he can do it on a defensive end. Whereas Jokic isn't that great defensively, but the impact that he makes offensively is way more important than the impact that AD makes offensively. So, it's just, this is the difference maker. That's what I'm saying. AD has been able to chill. He hasn't had to worry about Draymond Green putting 30 on his head. He hasn't worried about Kevon Looney dropping 40. He doesn't have to worry about Jaren Jackson Jr. dropping a 35-point triple-double or 35, 17, and 17. Like, that's just not the reality of who he played. But now he's playing somebody who can do those things, and that's going to be the very difference maker. This series is going to be won in the paint. It's going to be won based on how AD plays or based on how Jokic plays, period. It's going to be won in the paint, and it's going to also be decided by whose players show up, because I know a lot of people feel like the Lakers are going to win, and I can't even be mad at people feeling like the Lakers are going to win. Denver has the better team, but the Lakers have the more reliable players, in my opinion. If AD has to rely on Austin Reeves and LeBron James, I think he's in good hands. Jokic having to rely on Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, that can get a little dark. I watched Jamal Murray go crazy game one, and then I watched him disappear for the next 4 games until, game 6? For the next 5 games until game 6, and then he had his showing out in game 6. But he went crazy game 1, and then after that he talked his mess, popped his collar about, the bubble and people doubting him. And then in game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5, he looked like Jordan Poole, bro. Like, just abysmal. We watched that game, what was it, game 2 or game 3? Michael Porter Jr. just looked like Klay Thompson. He looked like Klay Thompson out there, bro, just bricking everything. He's like 1 for 9 from 3. That right there is going to be the deciding factor of who wins. Because if Austin Reeves and LeBron and, I'm not really even too much worried about LeBron. LeBron is on the same caliber as AD. So if Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell shows up, then now we're talking about, a lopsided, team. Now, Denver is deep, too. They could go to their bench. They have guys like Bruce Brown that's showing up, playing tremendous, knocking down shots. Jeff Green, tremendous guys knocking down shots, playing good defense, buying into the team and stuff. But, I don't think it's going to be as lopsided as people think. Like, people really feel like the Lakers are just going to blow this open and just win the next 4 games in a row, or that they somehow figured out Jokic. I don't think you figure out or solve Jokic. You kind of just have to stop him. And I think the way you stop him is the same way you stop LeBron, because Jokic is so dangerous because he makes his team better. So the same way you stop LeBron is you let LeBron kill you. LeBron gets 40, 50, cool. We'll live with LeBron getting 45. But D'Angelo Russell, you're going to have 6. Schroeder, you're going to have 6. Austin Reeves, you're going to have 9. Everybody else, you let AD and LeBron kill you. You know what I'm saying? Because AD and LeBron can't score 140 points. They just can't. That's just the realism. Excuse me. That's just the realism. That's just the reality. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the reality of the situation, is that LeBron and AD can't score 130, 40 points themselves. They just can't. So you're going to get 80, maybe even 90 from LeBron and AD. You might get 50 from AD. You might get 30, 35 from LeBron. But if you're not getting 20 from Reeves, that game, that good AD LeBron game becomes an L now. And vice versa for Denver. You might get 50 from Jokic, but if Michael Porter Jr. is not knocking down that corner 3, Jamal Murray is taking bad shots, and I really think that the sleepers is really going to be the real difference makers is going to be Austin Reeves, and not really even so much Austin Reeves. Is going to be D'Angelo Russell and his ability to shoot the 3, and it's going to be Michael Porter Jr. Excuse me. It's going to be D'Angelo Russell, and it's going to be Jamal Murray, because Jamal Murray has that ability that D'Angelo Russell doesn't. D'Angelo Russell, I watched him shoot and go like 1 for 6 and kind of just disappeared that game 1. I've watched Jamal Murray turn like a 1 for 8, a 1 for 7, 1 for 9 game into like 6 for 19. And people don't even realize he had a bad game, because it's like, he just kept shooting that shit. He's such a high volume scorer that you don't even really realize he had a bad game. You look at the numbers and the shot chart, and you're like, 6 for 19. It's like what, like almost like what? That's under 33%. It's like that's bad, right? That's real bad. But you got the W, and he still put up like 22 points, and then you're like, oh well, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it like that, you know what? He did still get like 22, and we did somehow win. It doesn't look as bad. But when you look at a D'Angelo Russell, where he kind of just has that game and then he kind of just shrinks and goes away, it's not going to, one, is not going to look good, but 2, they're not going to win, So, yeah, man. Who do you think is going to win this game 2, man? What are your predictions for game 2, man? My predictions, I'm about to put my predictions in. For game 2, I have, honestly, and you could go really either way with this, though. And I think I'm going to just say one last thing. That's the reason that I think people were saying that Denver has a lot of adjustments to make. They were up 20, and they just couldn't put their foot on the gas to get rid of LA. And I think that's why I think a lot of people feel like the series is going to be close. It really should be like a 5-1 series if we're going based on talent. The team, the talent and the team of Denver versus the talent and team of LA. It should be a 5-1 series for Denver, 4-1 series. I keep saying 5. I don't know why. It should be a 4-1 series for Denver. But look at how the Warriors played the Lakers game 2. They was knocking down shots. They were shooting like 51% from 3. And at no point did they let the Lakers hang around. At no point did they try to be funny or cute or gloat. They came in and it was like, we're going to handle business. We're going to kill them. We're going to run them out the gym. We're making LeBron and AD sit down the entire fourth quarter. There is no games to be played. Look at how the Lakers handled the Warriors on the bounce back of them blowing out the Warriors. There was no games. There was no being cute. There was no gloating. There was no, playing with your food or anything of that nature. They put their foot on the Warriors' neck and they buried them. That's it. No games to be had. We come in, we handle business. That's it. Denver, as good as they played, as well as they shot the ball, they let the Warriors, excuse me, I said the Warriors, they let the Lakers stick around that entire time. And if you want to win a championship, I feel like you have to be a little bit more ruthless. I'm not saying to, play dirty or injure anybody, but you have to hit that second or third or fourth or fifth gear and like put the foot to the pedal and put your foot on their neck and be like, all right, this is done with. There is no coming back. And that's the one thing that I do notice about the Lakers in the postseason is that this Lakers team is that team that can kind of just somehow crawl their way out of the hole. Every time we've seen it happen, Memphis, we've seen it happen with Golden State, we're seeing it happening with Denver. Like, they just, something about this Lakers team, they just know how to rally and kind of just crawl out of the hole. And the thing that makes it so impressive for the Lakers is that we've seen the Warriors do it, but it's not, I don't want to say it's not impressive, because we watched the Warriors do it for like the last decade, and it's impressive, yes. But it's not as impressive because we know how ridiculously good they are at shooting the three ball. And if you have a 16-point lead on somebody, you know what I'm saying? 2 threes, 2 shots, and that lead, that 16-point lead, that's almost a 20-point lead, is now a 10-point game. 2 more shots, and your lead is gone. So 4 threes from the Warriors, and your 16-point lead, which is a nice lead in the NBA. I know it's not a crazy lead, but a 16-point lead where you feel comfortable. Okay, we got a 16-point lead. It's almost a 20-point game. And they hit 4 fucking shots, and now your lead is just oxygen, just gone. It's there. It's just disappeared. It's not there anymore. It's air. It's just gone. It's transparent. It's not there no more. 16-point lead, 4 shots, just like that, gone. So you kind of have you have to respect the Lakers, because the Lakers can do that with the lead. And they're not shooting threes like the Warriors. They're not even really that good of a three-point shooter. You look at who they have on that team and their shot percentages and stuff. They don't really have that level of three-point shooting. So for them to just kind of chip away and remove a lead like that, it is impressive. You have to give your respects or tip your hats to the Lakers for being able to do that. But I do think that's one of the adjustments that Denver needs to make. Another adjustment that Denver needs to make that I noticed that they did a lot was that they just kind of just let Murray just get cooked in the post on these switches with LeBron. Like, they just constantly, hunting for Murray. And they chipped that lead. The lead was like maybe 16 or 18. And that lead went down to like 9 or 11 very fast off of just a couple of Jamal Murray switches in the pick and roll with LeBron, and then now you got LeBron posting up 6'3" Murray, who he's either going to shoot over him or he's going to bring him down into the paint and rock his world and score on him. You know what I'm saying? And we seen them do the same exact thing. They hunted the switches. They got Steph onto LeBron. LeBron posts him up, and either LeBron is going to either baby the shit out of Steph going to the rack, or he's going to dot a Reeves or a Russell or a Schroeder in the corner, and they're going to knock down their shots. Now, if they knock down their shots, then, they knock down their shots. But, you're not going to just leave people open, you know what I'm saying? But you're not going to also just let LeBron just get easy twos after easy twos. And that's the reason why that series could have went either way with Golden State, because, they're grinding out, getting twos, and then they're just giving up threes on the other end. Same thing with Denver. Denver is the better three-point shooting team, so they don't even have to really match a score for score with the Lakers. And the reason why they don't have to match score for score with the Lakers is because they're a better three-point shooting team. They don't have to shoot 50% to win against the Lakers. If they just shoot 45, 43% from three, they'll probably beat the Lakers, in most cases. Because the Lakers just aren't a very good three-point shooting team. They don't shoot a lot of threes. They like to grind into the paint. They like to get to the rim. They like to shoot free throws. And 2 points isn't going to beat you every single time when you're getting threes up on the other end, especially at the rate and the clip percentage that the Nuggets are shooting at, So I really do think this series is not going to be a short series. Originally I jokingly said, Nuggets 4-0 sweep. When talking to friends, I was saying, still jokingly saying, Nuggets in 5. I was saying Nuggets 4-1. But after game 1, I'm very, very comfortable in saying Nuggets in 6. I think this series is going to 6 no matter what. But I'm going to say Nuggets in 6. Definitely my prediction, because I'm still waiting for the dreaded shit the brick game. Jamal Murray has at least one shit the brick game in him, and I know that Michael Porter Jr. also has a shit the brick game in him. If Nuggets are lucky, they both shit the brick together. Maybe in game 2, game 3, they both shit the brick together and have their worst game together in the same game, so it only costs them one game, one loss. But I do know that they're both going to shit the brick at some point. And it's better to get the shit brick out early in a game 1, game 2, versus shit in the bed in a game 6 or a game 7, So, as for my predictions for tonight, game 2, I'm going to say, yeah, man, this is tough. This is really tough. Because, Lakers do bounce back well off of losses, but I'm going to say, honestly, I'm going to say Lakers. I'm going to say Lakers. And here's the reason why I'm going to say Lakers. The Lakers just stuck around, even after them shooting 50% from 3, just knocking down ridiculous shots. Jokic throwing up buzzer beaters at the end of the quarter, just chucking stuff up. Jamal Murray, the shot clock winding down, he has to just toss it up. They were just knocking down ridiculous shot after ridiculous shot. And even then, they still let the Lakers stick around. And I'm saying they still let the Lakers stick around. It's not so much that the Lakers were just ridiculously scoring and they couldn't be stopped. It was just bad defense, bad rotations, just mistakes on the Nuggets' part. So it's more so that they let the Lakers stay in this and come back in this, versus the Lakers were just, oh man, AD was just dropping 60, 70 points and they couldn't do nothing. LeBron, 40, 50 points, they couldn't do nothing. It was more so the Denver Nuggets not, putting their foot to the pedal and saying, we're not going to let them come back. It's more so the Denver dropping the ball and letting the Lakers just do whatever. So because of that, I would probably say, I'm probably going to go Lakers. I would probably say Lakers, man, for sure. Lakers definitely win tonight, for sure. It's going to be a close game, though, 1,000%. The one thing I will say about this series is I don't really see, barring any injuries to any players, I don't see any of these games being a blowout. I don't think there's going to be any blowouts in any of these games, honestly. And if there was a blowout, it would be a blowout in favor of the Nuggets. I don't think the Lakers would blow out the Nuggets at any point. But if there was to be a blowout, it would probably be the Nuggets blowing out the Lakers. But even then, I still don't see any blowouts this series. I think every game is going to be, decided by 12 points or less. So, let me know what you think in the comments down below, man. Who do y'all got? First of all, tell me who y'all got in the series, and then tell me who y'all got for game 2. It's been your boy, Make America Lit. I'm out, guys. Peace.